Sharma, Department of Zoology, Punjab University, Chandigarh.
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to the organizing committee for providing me this opportunity to present my work in this summit. And hereby, I'm sharing my screen for the presentation. I'm presenting here the title of my work is to implicate the microRNA 125A as diagnostic and differentiating biomarker for endometrioid carcinoma of ovary from endometriosis. Now, endometriosis is one of the very most common cause for infertility, and it has high prevalence rate in India, about maximum raising up to 40%. So, and all of that, 15 to 30% of endometriosis can convert itself into endometrioid type of carcinoma or ovary. So the risk of developing endometrioid carcinoma of ovary that increases in women who are already having endometriosis, and the common if we go for that theoretical basis for these two diseases, the hyperestrogenic microenvironment in the ovaries along with oxidative stress and other genetic and epigenetic alteration are the reason which can lead to malignant transformation of endometriosis into endometrioid carcinoma of ovary. So our hypothesis for that out of many possible ways, at any stage, be it initiation or promotion or progression, there are certain epigenetic alteration which can trigger to convert endometriosis into endometrioid ovarian cancer. So with this introduction, our hypothesis was to look for the differentially regulated microRNAs among the between these two diseases as compared to the control subjects, and we chosen specifically the microRNA operational in certain key processes such as inflammation, angiogenesis, hypoxia, cell proliferation, and reduced apoptosis, which are hallmark to the cancer carcinogenesis. So next, and with this background, we also thought of looking them as diagnostic or discriminating biomarker. Moreover, to prove them as non-invasive by checking their expression in serum sample as well. So for the particular study, our study subjects belong to three groups mainly. Subjects with endometriosis in group 1A and subjects with endometrioid carcinoma of ovary in group 1B. Both were total 10 in each subject in group, and 10 control subjects were taken to compare the outcome of these two study groups. So first of all, we did microRNA sequencing by next generation sequencing by Illumina sequencing platform, so as to get a broader perspective that how many microRNAs are actually operational over there, or whether they are differential expression of microRNAs between these two diseases or not. So this was the pipeline diagram for the procedure, and this is the PCA plot suggesting that the control endometrioid carcinoma and endometriosis group, they were quite separated from each other and there was no overlapping. And then the extrapolatory data analysis suggesting the distribution of expression of among the samples, and the heat map suggesting there is no correlation. And out of this, the outcome of this whole procedure was that we got 470 microRNAs as differentially expressed in endometriosis as compared to controls, and 572 microRNAs in endometrioid carcinoma of ovary as compared to control. But when we compare these two diseases, endometriosis versus endometrioid carcinoma of ovary, there were 412, approximately more than 400 microRNAs were differentially expressed. So our next challenge was to shortlist certain microRNAs, and we have already hypothesized that to group our microRNAs specifically to the key processes. So we shortlisted or selected these 8 microRNAs which were operational in the regulation of these genes, which were COX2, TNF alpha, HIF1 alpha, VEGF, P53, and c-MYC. And the basis for this selection was, one is our hypothesis, and another was a target prediction analysis by certain online tools. So out of this whole microRNA sequencing data, we get this volcanic plot, and on the basis of that, we clearly got the outcome that yes, these were operational in these particular key processes, that inflammation, hypoxia, cell proliferation, and angiogenesis, the hallmark processes of carcinogenesis. So our next thing was to quantify or validate the expression of these microRNAs, selected 8 microRNAs in all the tissue biopsies and serum samples. So first we did in serum tissue biopsies using U6 small nuclear RNA as internal reference control. And for serum analysis, we opted for Mir-ANZ serum plasma spike-in control. So this is the outcome we got for these 8 microRNAs that selected were Mir449A, Mir34B, 16 and 20A, and among these 449A and 34B are kind of tumor suppressor microRNAs, and they are operational in increased cell cycle progression and angiogenesis. On the other hand, these Mir16 and 20A were also downregulated, which are responsible for increased inflammation, hypoxia, and angiogenesis. Another set, we observed increased upregulated expression of these 4 microRNAs. Among these, 2 are like Mir143 and 145 are oncomirs, which are responsible for cell survival and invasiveness, and along with that, Mir125A, which is responsible for cell migration, invasion, and inflammation, in addition to epithelial to mesenchymal transition, as per the Mir99B, role of Mir99B as per literature. So, next to that, we also try to observe the key processes which we have chosen for, that whether the genes operational are also upregulated or differentially regulated or not. And yes, we observed that the gene responsible in the key processes are also upregulated on except this P53, which is a tumor suppressor gene, and that was downregulated. And this was also got published in that Journal of Cancer Research and Therapeutics recently as published. Next, we could have thought of that getting into some therapeutic strategy using these microRNAs, as these seem to be quite operational among these 2 diseases. But our first objective was to standardize them as non-invasive biomarkers. So we first moved forward by checking their expression in the serum sample of all these patients, because collection of biopsy in gynec patient is a surgical procedure, and it takes a lot of toll on the patient, because surgery, you need to go for the surgery, only then you can get the sample. But if we get them in the serum as well, then it would be a boon to us. So next is when we did the serum expression analysis for selected microRNAs, we got that all these microRNAs were also quite significantly regulated, and among these, all these 8 have some differential regulatory expression, and of which, when we did the ROC curve analysis to establish them biomarker, we observed that out of 8, 7 were quite significant in endometriosis as compared to control. But Mir125A was also was quite highly significant among these all. And when we did the analysis for endometrioid carcinoma of ovary, it was only Mir125A which was significantly demarcated out of all 8 selected microRNAs, and that was very the area under curve was also quite impressive with good sensitivity and specificity. So next we compared both of these endometriosis versus endometrioid carcinoma of ovary by the same ROC curve analysis, and we observed that again Mir125A was quite significant in the terms of sensitivity, specificity, and area under curve. So summarizing the whole, when we compared the endometriosis and endometrioid carcinoma of ovary in terms of epigenetic alteration, and specifically the differential regulation and differential expression of certain microRNAs and their expression in both tissue and serum sample. And these microRNAs were quite operational in inflammation, angiogenesis, hypoxia, and cell proliferation. Further, their ROC curve analysis also revealed that miR-125A is a significant outcome of all these 8 microRNAs. So we conclude by this that out of tissue microRNAs and circulating microRNAs, these real-time PCR and the RNA sequences, which are the very quite sensitive technique, and they concluded that miR-125 as diagnostic and discriminating marker for endometrioid carcinoma of ovary from endometriosis. And because sample size was quite small, so large sample size study can help us to find better microRNA or its probability of potential of using it as a significant biomarker can be checked for, which will definitely help in diagnosis and therapy selection for both these study groups. So with this, I want to acknowledge my co-investigator from the Postgraduate Institute of Medical Education and Research, both Professor S.C. Saha and Professor Radhika Srinivasan, along with the study participants without whom the study cannot take place, and the sub-DST for financial assistance in the terms of early career research award, and my research team, which has helped to evaluate, go for the whole of the outcome. Thank you.